All right. So the U.S. Navy says 2 SEALs lost, not those kind of SEALs, Navy SEALs, lost seizing Iran weapons shipment for Houthis as Qatar urges focus on Israel-Hamas war. The U.S. military said Tuesday it had seized a boatload of advanced conventional weapons sent from Iran to the Houthi rebels in Yemen. Evidence, according to the U.S. Central Command's General Michael Eric Kurilla, that Iran continues shipment of advanced lethal aid to the Houthis as they attack commercial vessels in the Red Sea. 2 U.S. Navy SEALs previously reported as lost at sea were directly involved in this operation, Kurilla, CENTCOM's commander, said in the statement, adding that an exhaustive search continued for the elite troops who had not been seen since the January 11 seizure of the Iranian boat. Defense officials told CBS News over the weekend that the missing sailors went overboard while attempting to board the Iranian vessel that was found to be carrying arms from Iran to Yemen. The boarding was carried out in rough seas, the officials said. A U.S. official told CBS News on Tuesday that the more strikes were carried out overnight against Houthi targets, that more strikes, in the large portion of Yemen controlled by the Iran-backed rebels. Despite the ongoing strikes against the Houthis and loss of 2 U.S. troops in what CENTCOM called the first seizure of lethal Iranian-supplied advanced conventional weapons to the Houthis since the beginning of the group's attacks on merchant vessels in November, those attacks have continued in the vital shipping lanes of the Middle East. Well, that's what they told you was going to happen. The Houthis have vowed to keep attacking ships they deem connected to Israel or its international allies, justifying the missile and drone launches as retaliation for the ongoing Israeli military operation in Gaza against the Iran-backed Palestinian militant group Hamas. On Monday, a missile struck a U.S.-owned commercial vessel in the Red Sea, causing a fire in a cargo hold, but no serious damage or casualties.
A little different from Israel, I guess.
A little different. The Prime Minister of Qatar, which has served as a valuable intermediary for the U.S., it was actually, fun fact, it was Qatar that Netanyahu would give suitcases full of cash to go into Gaza to fund Hamas.
Even more than Roxanne Gay, he supported Hamas.
He supported Hamas even more than the kids at Harvard.
And now he's plagiarizing land.
Yes. And is intermediary for the U.S. and Israel negotiations with Hamas throughout the Gaza war, suggested Tuesday that the efforts of the U.S. and its allies against the Houthis could prove futile, saying the Yemeni rebels' actions were rooted in the ongoing Gaza war and military action alone will not contain them. We should focus on the main conflict in Gaza, and as soon as it's diffused, I believe everything else will be diffused, said the Qatari premier, urging a 2-state solution with an independent state created for the Palestinians alongside Israel to end the conflict. What we have right now in the region is a recipe of escalation everywhere, Al-Thani warned, hinting at the threat of the ongoing war in Gaza escalating or manifesting in violence across the wider Middle East. Okay, so what do the Qataris say now that Netanyahu has definitively stated that they will not accept a 2-state solution, that they're going to occupy Gaza once they're done at best? Any thoughts, Keaton?
Yeah, I mean, well, that's the big question, right? And that relates to what we were talking about in the previous segment. You know, the Houthis have been the only ones willing to take a stand here. And so that begs the question, you know, what is it going to take for these other Arab states to sort of join forces? I don't know what the answer to that is, or if that will happen, because of the relationship between, you know, Israel and the U.S. And, you know, as Kurt mentioned, you know, he mentioned Tucker's quote, there's no such thing as fuck you money, there's fuck you poverty. As long as you have something to lose, that makes the decision to pull the trigger on these kinds of situations much, much harder.
Come see us do a live stand-up show. We'll be in Venice, California, Palmdale, California, Omaha, Des Moines, Milwaukee, Lansing, Bend, Oregon, Portland, Oregon, Seattle, Washington, Boston, Massachusetts, and we're going to Europe. Do you live in Europe? We're going to be there. Go to jimmydore.com for a link for all those tickets.